Welcome back and thanks for watching. This is the 5th video in my series on how to design a Telecaster in Fusion 360. In this video we'll complete the neck by cutting the side profile, drilling the tuner holes, and adding slots for the truss rod. If you haven't seen the earlier videos, I suggest you check those out first. Just click on the info button in the upper right corner to get there. And if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. I will reply. And if you want to see more of these videos, press the subscribe button. And if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. So in the previous video, we created a headstock, and we also did the transition from the headstock to the neck. But if you look at the top of the headstock, you can see it's just a flat continuation of the neck. And in a Telecaster, this is it's basically got a profile cut to it. So we're going to open up our canvases, and I think we've got something there that will work. This headstock section defines this profile cut that I was referring to. So if we look straight at it, you can see the curve, and you can see this top part we want to cut away from the headstock. So basically we're going to create a sketch, which is basically just the top of this drawing. And then we're going to use that to split the body and then remove one of the two bodies that we split. Okay, so we'll start by making sure that the neck is our active component, and then create a sketch. And I'm going to create that sketch on this center plane. So this sketch is going to be right in the middle of the headstock. Okay, so now I can zoom in and just draw over this. I'll start with a line, and I'll actually start it outside of the headstock, just making sure we've got enough of the line to do the splitting. And I'm going to stop right about here by clicking. And then I can go to my 3-point arc. So I'll do a create, arc, 3-point, and make sure I intersect that line and then come up. I'm going to go beyond the drawing a little bit and then stretch this line down, or I'm sorry, stretch the arc down and click. Okay, so now I'm going to hide the body, and we can see that that looks pretty good. But I want to make sure that this arc is tangent with the line that we drew. And I also want to make sure that this line is horizontal. So if I hide the body, I think we'll be able to see that there's a horizontal constraint there. There it is. And let me hide the canvas as well. Okay, so now we can see the sketch a little bit better. We've got our horizontal constraint, but we want to make sure that this is tangent with this. So I'll go up to the tangent constraint and click on these two line segments. And now we've got a nicely defined cutting sketch to use to split our bodies. Okay, so I'm going to finish the sketch, and let's go to the sketch folder, and we can slow double click on that, and I'll call this headstock profile cut. Okay, so let's bring our bodies back in, turning that folder on. And now it's just a matter of going to split body and picking the entire neck and headstock, and then going to select the splitting tool, which are these two lines that we just drew. And then you can see we've got extend splitting tool turned on. If I turn that off, it probably gives you a better understanding of what's going on here. So that's our splitting surface, and I'm going to do an OK. And now when we look at the bodies folder, you can see that there's two individual bodies here, one that we want to retain and one that we want to get rid of. So I'm going to right click on this body and go down to remove, and basically that's all we need to do to get that nice little profile. So next we're going to cut the tuner holes in the headstock, and I'm going to go to the bottom of the headstock here, look straight at it, and then go to our canvases, and we have this headstock canvas. So kind of hard to see, but you can see it overlaying the headstock there. And it's got several dimensions on it that we can use. So I'm actually going to go back into the headstock sketch, which is right here, and edit that. Then we can see the canvas a little bit better. So keep in mind, we are going back in time before this extrusion was done, and we're going to make these holes, and then we'll modify the extrusion, and then we'll have our headstock holes cut, our tuner holes cut. Okay, so I'm going to start with a line, just a construction line. So I'm going to turn on construction, go to line, and then I'm just going to make it roughly parallel to the outside of the headstock. And then come in with our parallel constraint and click this line and force the two to being parallel. Okay, so the next step is there's a dimension right here which the intersection of this parallel line and this vertical line, when we make it, will be where the first tuner hole is cut. So I'm going to get a line and make sure that this is at 90 degrees. All right, and then we can come in with our dimension tool and dimension from this point to this point here and type in 1.537. Okay. Now we should also dimension from this parallel line to the outside of the headstock. So I'm still in dimension, so I'm going to click on that line and that line. And this is pretty close to 0.375, so I'm going to force it there, maybe a little bit farther. You can see that according to the drawing, it's not quite parallel, but I think it really should be. So I'm gonna stick with that dimension. Okay. So next we want to come in with a circle and make sure that that's at the intersection of those two lines. And I'm going to turn off our construction geometry. We want this to be real geometry. And most of these tuner holes are 10 millimeter, but depends on the equipment that you're going to buy. But I'm going to put that in at 10 millimeters. And so then the next trick is to reproduce these. And so I'm going to use the rectangular pattern feature within a sketch. So we've already got, well, I'm going to select the first hole, and then the second thing to select is the direction, which is this construction line. And then we can choose between spacing or extent. In this case, we've got a spacing dimension here on our canvas, 0.911. So I'm going to pick spacing. The quantity is going to be 6. That does include the original hole. And then the distance is going to be the distance between each hole. So I'll type in 0.911 off of our plan. And I think that's all we need to do. So if I click OK, then you can see we've got these 6 circles defined in a rectangular pattern. Okay. Now, if you ever want to come back in and change anything about this, this set of 6 holes, you can actually go to this rectangular pattern constraint and double click on that, and then that brings up the pattern dialog box. So that's a little bit of a buried feature within Fusion, and I didn't know that until recently. I always assumed that you couldn't go back into the sketch and edit the pattern, but you can by clicking on this constraint right here. Okay, so we've got our 6 holes defined in the position that we'd like them to be in. So I'll finish the sketch. And remember, this sketch was defined back in time in our timeline. So I'm actually going to go back to where the extrusion was. Let's see. Here's an extrusion right here. So if I back up before that and then scrub the timeline just past it, you can see that is indeed the extrusion. So I'm going to right click on that, do an edit feature, and you can see how Fusion automatically updated this to select those 6 tuner holes that we just made in addition to the profile of the headstock. So I'm going to X out of that and just pick the profile without the tuner holes, and then you can see the extrusion is going to happen, but it's going to exclude those holes. All right. So now when we go back to our most recent position in the timeline, you can see that our profile cut is also done, and it wasn't, you know, it also cut through those tuner holes. So the final thing we're going to do in this video is to add a truss rod in and use it to cut the actual truss rod slot. Fortunately, I found a low profile StewMac 2-way truss rod on GrabCAD, and it's actually a Fusion file. So I downloaded that previously, and I'm going to bring that in. Here it is right here. I'm just going to drag that into our design. And first thing, let's orient this so that it's in the proper direction. So the flat part of our truss rod right here, we want pointing up. And so I'm going to rotate this around 180 degrees. And now let's take a look at the length, because this was labeled a variable length truss rod, and the one we want is actually 18 inches long. So I'm going to do an inspect by pressing I, and then I'm going to go from this face right here to the face where we've got a hex nut right here, and see what that measures. So that measures 14 1/8. And I think we want the actual 1/8, so we're going to add 4 to this length, to the shaft length. Fortunately, there's a parameter setup in this file. So if I go edit, click on this little pencil to edit the actual truss rod, we can go to its parameter file, and we're going to add 4 inches to that. So we're going to make this 16 1/4. So now when we do an inspect, let's take a look at it. Hopefully this is going to be 18 1/8. So I'm going to press I for inspect, pick this face, spin around, pick the opposite face, and that is 18 1/8. So it's probably an actual truss rod of 18, but the 1/8 gives us a little bit of play in the slot to move it around a little bit. So now that we've got the truss rod in the right size, let's get it in the right position. So we can finish the edit in place. First, I'm going to close the inspect. I'll click here. Now I'm going to use the align tool. But first, let's see how it is, if it's indeed centered. It looks like it is, but I'm going to get a top view of our neck, and I'm going to turn on the scale, which has our center line, and you can see that it did come in right in the center of the model. So that's good. I will hide the scale and now use the align tool to get it in the right spot. So I'm going to click on align, and this top face and the top of the neck, and you see it's now aligned in that direction. And we can do multiple aligns in the same command. So I'm now going to pick this face right here and the back of the heel, and now it's in the proper position. So I'm going to do an OK, but before I do that, I'll check capture position. So now we have actually a position in our timeline. So that's now in a fixed spot. Okay, so now it's just a matter of using this truss rod to cut the actual slot. So I think the easiest thing to do here is to make a sketch on the top of the neck. So I'm going to make sure our neck is activated. Click on the top of the neck, and then go into create sketch. And now I'm going to hit P for project, and I'll click on bodies here. I think we want this entire truss rod. So let me see if I can get that in one fell swoop. Kind of hovering over it. Looks like I'm going to have to do it in 3 bodies here. So there's 1, 2, and 3. Okay. So now all we really want the sketch for is to be able to extrude these areas. So I don't think we need anything in addition to the projected lines in our sketch. So I'm going to finish the sketch. Let me close up the truss rod component. And actually, the truss rod component came in underneath our neck. I'm going to see if I can drag that up to the top level. Okay, that worked. I just dragged it and dropped it on Telecaster. And now it's at the same level as our body and our scale and all that. Okay, so I've activated the neck. And now, let's see, we can hover over this and get a profile. So let's go ahead and do this profile. So I'm going to do an extrude here. So E for extrude, and I'm going to push this down. And looking up in the StewMac website, I found that this is supposed to be 3/8 of an inch deep. So I'm going to put -375. Okay, so there's our main slot that's already cut. And then we have this additional slot. To do this, we kind of want a semicircle on the bottom of it. So let's hide the neck body. And let's take a look at the truss rod. And this face right here is actually what I want to do an extrude. And I think I'll do that extrude in two directions. I'll push it towards the main rod, and then I'll push it back towards the nut. But first, let's measure and see the distance that we want to go in each case. So I'll measure from here to here. That's 0.875. And then in the other direction, well, we've probably got an inch in that direction. Okay, so those are going to be our two extrudes, but we have to be able to select this as a profile to do the extrude. So I'm going to hold my mouse button down and see if I can get this entire face here. Oh, okay, so I got lucky. I picked the second one randomly, but that's the face I want to extrude. So at this point, we can turn our bodies back on. We've got our profile selected. So I'm going to go to extrude, and it's saying one selected. Now the arrow's pointing back. So we're going to pick a two-sided extrude, and the first side has the arrow pointing back. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to come in this direction and put in 1 inch, and that cuts the slot towards the towards the end of the heel. And then I'm going to go to the second direction, second distance here, and push this back this way, and then type in 875 in that direction. Okay, so that has cut our slot. Let's hide the truss rod and take a look at the slot by itself. Now, if you're actually going to do this on CNC, you may want to add, an extra 1/8 here. You may actually want to have the actual truss rod in hand and measure that before you dimension these slots. But with Fusion being parametric, you can always go back and change this. So anyway, that is our finished neck. We've got the truss rod slot, we've got our tuner holes, and we've got our profile cut. So in the next episode, we will make the fretboard and cut the slots in the fretboard.